Hi guys, welcome to today's video. I'm the Hooded Lid and I have a new product to review. Well, it's new to me. It's been out for a while. Pop quiz. Did you know when Hermes first started in 1837, it was in the bridal business? And by bridal, I don't mean dun 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 dun. I mean nay. They did bridal for carriages and horses for the noble people of France and the noble people of other countries. And then they moved on to bags for the saddles. They were so innovative that they were able to get an exclusive to use zippers in leather goods and clothing. And it was actually called the Hermes attachment, I think, for some time because of that exclusive. It just blows my mind. Before that, women laced their dresses. Of course, I mean, they were wearing dresses to the ground, so different time. 100 years after the company first started, they started to do handbags and the famous scarves. They did silk ties and got into perfumes. But now they are doing cosmetics. This brings an incredibly bougie line to regular people. The barrier is no longer there, in a way, because their perfumes are also pretty affordable when you compare them to niche perfumes. They're very affordable and they're really pretty good. I don't know who their perfumer is now, their house perfumer, but Jean-Claude Lanne, I believe, was their perfumer for quite some time, and he has a fantastic nose. But we're not here to talk about that. We're talking about the lipsticks. This is what it looks like. I am not someone who talks about packaging. I could care less, unless it's stunning. I want to talk about what's inside. I don't know, to me this is kind of stunning. This is a slit that shows the orange box inside. You open it up and it's an orange coverette. You push it forward and your lipstick is protected by a burlap bag, which I think is so chic. Just chic. Just chic. Et voila, your lipstick. The packaging was designed by Pierre Hardy, who is a shoe designer in France. Right here you have the insignia, and here is the name of the color, and I'm sure it's printed Hermes, you know, all over the place, but I already used it, and I can't see. It has a magnified closure, and really interesting. This is a dark, dark, dark brown. This is a matte shade. This is a satin shade. So there's a little bit more shine to the satin shade. So if you have more than one, it's easier to grab the right lipstick just by looking at that. I really, really like that idea. Pat McGrath should do something like that. So while this is an entryway for your average person into an incredibly bougie brand, it's not an easy entryway. These are $67, which is not inexpensive. The packaging is stunning, without a doubt. Even the packaging that it comes to, these cofferettes, bobby pins, you know, you don't throw those away. You keep those. Safety pins, bobby pins, anything small. Toothpicks. Yeah, toothpicks. You could bring toothpicks back if you carry them in this. But I digress. $67. There are 5 satin shades and 3 matte shades. The orange shade comes in matte and satin. Now, when I say 5 and 3, I mean this is what I'm counting. But I think there's more. Because one of the shades I bought, I went back to the Nordstrom site to look at the swatch and it was no longer named. So I have a feeling like when they sell out, it drops off. I'm not 100% sure. You can get it at Nordstrom's, you can get it at Bloomingdale's, you can get it at the Hermes site. Now, let's do some swatching. I got 3. 1 matte, 2 satins. Instead of swatching and coming up really close, I'm going to come in just a little bit because I'm so frustrated myself when I see other people do videos like this and they don't pull out enough so I can get the overall feeling of how it works with the skin tone, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking to see, is that a color that will work on me? So I'm not going to go in too close. I'm going to go in a little bit closer, and I'm not going to do the posy thing because I just can't take myself seriously and do a pose. But I'm going to leave the color on while I'm swatching some other things I have that might come close or might be dupes. So you can get a whole broad idea of what it looks like for a few minutes, and what else we're going to look at. Let's go. Close enough, I say. Let's start with Rose Indian. This is beautiful. When I saw this, I thought, this is really up my alley. So much up my alley that I may already have it. But let's give it a go. There we have it. I love this color. And this is maybe the most comfortable matte I've ever put on. Now, it's not matte, 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 matte. It's not that powdery matte that almost looks velvety on your lips. But there isn't an egregious shine here, and it's incredibly comfortable. It does not stay. If you drink something with oil in it, like a coffee, or eat something like salmon, it's going to come off, but when it does come off, it doesn't go all over your face like a lot of these things do, and it doesn't come off entirely. So around the lips it stayed, even though I hadn't lined. So points for color, points for comfort, points for style. Come on, who's kidding? But it's not the only thing going. Let's look at some comparisons. This is Rose Indian from Hermes. Burberry Liquid Lip Velvet in magenta. Hermes Burberry is very close. Very, very close. And this is also a matte, and it's also incredibly comfortable. It's kind of that moussey formula that a lot of people don't seem to like, but I adore it. I don't need a matte lipstick to stay on me forever. I just sometimes really like a matte look, and this gives it to me. I do not know, however, where you can buy Burberry anymore. It used to be at Sephora. I don't know. Next, Pat McGrath Full Panic Matte. I wore this shade the other day when I took a look at the Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2 palette, and here it is. Hermes Burberry Pat McGrath. I feel that the Pat has a teeny bit more blue in it. And I also feel that the Pat, when I first bought some of those matte lipsticks, I thought, wow, so creamy and comfortable. And after about 20 minutes, it got a little grainy. Now that I've owned them for a while, they're not as creamy when you first put them on. They're not uncomfortable, but they do have kind of that powdery nature to them. Also, this is not transfer proof, but it stays on a lot longer than this one. So when you eat, a little comes off, but not as much. Beautiful shade and nice formulation. This formulation is much more comfortable. Laura Mercier Rose Decadent. Laura Mercier Rose Decadent, Pat McGrath Full Panic, Burberry Magenta, and Hermes Rose Indian. This one is a little bit lighter in tone, almost as if it's not as saturated, but I think actually there's something a little bit yellowness in this, if yellowness is a word. I love this formulation. They are so, so comfortable, and I love this. It's a satin. And finally, Lisa Eldridge Rainbow Spill. Lisa Eldridge Rainbow Spill, Rose Decadent from Laura Mercier, Pat McGrath Full Panic, Magenta from and Hermes. I feel like the closest one is probably the Burberry, and the Full Panic is certainly in the right family. Those are both very close. These have a little bit more brightness to them. I love them. I love them for the summer. And I did a dupe for this one and came to the conclusion that this one was probably the winner if you can't get a hold of this, which I was just on her site the other day and it's not available. So, side note on that one. This is what it looks like on the face. I think for my skin tone, it is lovely. Let's move on. This I cannot pronounce. This is Beige. I'm not even going to try. And this is what it looks like. This is a satin. And on the hand, to me, this is not beige. This is an orange color that has been watered down with, well, a lot of beige. So it's beige with orange. It's orangey beige. Now this is a unique color, and I have really nothing exactly like it, but I have a couple of things similar. This is the Shiseido gel formula. It's a very interesting formula. It feels like water on your lips. and then it kind of dissipates and leaves the pigment on your lips. So it's long lasting, not transfer proof, but it's really nice, and it's such an unusual color. I got this at Sephora when an SA that I trust at Hollywood store, I put it on and said, what do you think? And he said, I like it for transition from summer to fall, and bought it, and I was surprised how much I wore it. And it's not too dissimilar, but the Hermes has more orange in it, but they both have a muted quality about them. And then the other one I have to look at is the Charlotte Tilbury Super Cindy. So here's Super Cindy by Charlotte Tilbury. This is Night Train from Shiseido, and this is the Hermes. And you can see they're all kind of related in their muted tones, but there's more pink in the Super Cindy. And yet, they all live in the same place, almost like terracotta, minus any pink tones or any red tones. And they're unusual. I want to compare it to a Gucci. This is Blaze of Noon by Gucci, which is right here. And while it lives in the same place, it's not related to this. Just curious. So I thought I'd give it a go. You guys, I forgot to put it on. I cannot tell you, this is the fourth time I've shot this video all the way through. But I had problems with the light the first day because the clouds were going in and out. And then I had problems with the lights on the other two times because the camera, when the camera stops and you have to push it to go again, it wouldn't rebalance. So I started one of my videos looking crisp and lovely, and by the end, the whole screen from my background to my face to my hair had an orangey kind of tinge to it. This is the look. When I first put this on, I thought, it's going back. But then I lined it, and it helped a lot. And you know what? Even unlined, I'm really getting used to it. There's something about this that's really special, and I don't have anything like it. And yet, it reminds me of a lipstick I had when I was a teenager, a late teenager. I feel that probably, like most girls getting started into makeup who are buying it with babysitting money, like I did, we're buying lipsticks because we don't really need foundations, or we don't know how to do foundations. I'm going to line this, and I think that helps a lot. I still haven't decided if I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to lie, because sometimes I think, wow, it's really special and different. I don't have anything just like it. It does remind me of something that I had somehow when I was in high school. And it's just special. Just like the Night Train is something that I'm glad that I had. I didn't use it every day, but I used it often enough. And these kind of colors go really nicely with green eyeshadow looks, which I'm into, even though I haven't yet mastered it. And I think goes well with the makeup that I have on today too. And finally, we have Orange What, or Orange What. And this is what she looks like. Orange What. You can see how it is related to the beige. It could be the beige is just this with a lot of beige in it. And on the lips. Now, while both of these are very, very, really comfortable, I find that this is not as opaque as the beige, and you have to go over a couple of times. This could be a plus. If this orange is too much for you, or if it's just not quite the right undertone for you, having your lips show through a little bit can be a benefit. Now, I saw the lovely Alana Davidson put this on, and it was insanely beautiful on her. It was perfection. On me, not so much. So I am going to try a line. I do have an orange liner, and I'm not sure if that's the best way to go because it won't match. And you know what? I may not even have it down here. I think I took it back upstairs. So I'm going to leave it unlined. I don't know, you guys. I don't know about this one. Let's do some swatches. Gucci Agatha Orange, and I have it in the sheer. It is also available, I believe, in both the matte and the cream, or satin. So that is not a bad match. This is definitely, the Hermes is definitely more intense. This might have the teeniest bit of pink in it. I mean, this is straight out orange, but not bad. If a color like this is a little too much for you, then maybe this will do it. Just get it in the cream or the matte. Givenchy Mandarin Bolero. There's the Givenchy, the Gucci, the Hermes. The Givenchy is obviously orange. It is called Mandarin, but compared to the Hermes, it does look like it has pink. I really like this color. There's a lot of dimethicone in this, so I find it a teeny bit uncomfortable, so I don't wear it very often, but it's pretty. And that's the Givenchy. I'm not sure this one is made anymore. This is Tom Ford Coral. And here's the Tom Ford right below the Hermes. It's a little bit more pink than the Givenchy. Laura Mercier Coral Vif, or Vif. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And this is the Laura Mercier. Tom Ford, Givenchy, Gucci, and Hermes. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm starting to sweat. So luckily I have one more, and then I have one other thing I need to add to this. Bite Persimmon. I am not sure they're making this anymore. They are starting to re-release some of their lip products, so they wiped everything out and then came out with a foundation and slowly started to introduce things back in. I'm not sure if this is coming back, but this is the Persimmon, which is insanely beautiful. They all are. They're all insanely beautiful. So here we have all the swatches. These are very comfortable, but something to be aware of. I was shocked how nobody mentioned this, or they didn't emphasize it enough, and I should have said this in the beginning, so I hope you're here to the end. These are incredibly perfumed. Not anything specific, just floral. So strong that the first 3 times I wore these, I could feel it on my lips and I could taste it on my tongue. It was as if I had sprayed on perfume and my mouth was accidentally open. It was not pleasant, and it made me feel like I don't think I can do these at all. I will say the matte was not as perfumed, which was interesting. This is the 4th time I've shot this video. So these have been worn, and it's been very warm the last couple of days, and I'm not smelling them anymore. And I'm not tasting them anymore, and I'm not feeling the perfume on my lips anymore. Let me just give it I just got that on my nose. Yeah. So that smell, if it's too much for you, give it 4 or 5 days. Don't just send it back immediately if you love the color, because it's my experience that it dissipates. But boy, oh boy, I have never put on something that was so scented on my lips. It was huge. And my friends, that's going to be it for me. These are my swatches on the hand, swatches on the lips. I'm kind of undecided. I'm probably going to send back the matte because I have so many colors that look like that. I do think the beige is really interesting and would be useful to have in a wardrobe. And I'm just not sure about this color in me. That's about it. Thanks so much for spending a couple of minutes with me. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you come again. And here's a bee. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I am wishing you great health. Bye.